Imagine waking up in a country that promises opportunity, freedom, and a better life. A place where dreams are not just imagined but pursued with relentless energy. That place, for millions around the world, is the United States. But behind the glamorous lifestyle shown in movies and social media, there is a reality that many people don't talk about openly. The cost of living in the USA in 2026 has reached a point where even middle-class families are feeling the pressure. The question is no longer whether you can earn money in America. The real question is whether you can actually save anything after paying your basic expenses. Let's begin with the most important and unavoidable expense, housing. In 2026, housing continues to be the biggest financial burden for most people living in the United States. Rent prices have skyrocketed over the past few years, especially in major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Even smaller cities and suburban areas are no longer as affordable as they once were. A one-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood can easily cost anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000 per month depending on the location. In high-demand areas, this price can go even higher. Buying a house is even more challenging. Mortgage rates, property taxes, and maintenance costs together make home ownership a distant dream for many. Now imagine earning a decent salary, maybe around $5,000 per month. It sounds like a lot when converted into Indian rupees, but once you start subtracting rent, things begin to look very different. If you are paying $2,000 for rent, almost half of your income is already gone. Add utilities like electricity, water, internet, and heating, and you might spend another $300 to $500. Suddenly, you are left with much less than you expected. Food is another major expense that people often underestimate. Groceries in the USA have become significantly more expensive in 2026. Basic items like milk, eggs, vegetables, and meat have all seen price increases. A single person might spend around $300 to $600 per month on groceries alone, depending on their lifestyle. Eating out is even more expensive. A simple meal at a restaurant can cost between $15 to $25 per person, and that's not including tips. In America, tipping is a cultural expectation, and you are usually expected to tip at least 15 to 20% of your bill. This means that even a casual outing can quickly become a costly affair. Transportation is another hidden cost that adds up quickly. In many parts of the USA, having a car is not a luxury but a necessity. Public transportation is not as developed in many cities, especially outside major metropolitan areas. Buying a car means dealing with monthly loan payments, insurance, fuel, and maintenance. Car insurance alone can cost anywhere from $100 to $300 per month depending on your driving history and location. Fuel prices fluctuate, but they still take a significant portion of your budget. Altogether, transportation expenses can easily exceed $500 to $800 per month. Healthcare is perhaps the most shocking aspect of living in the United States. Unlike many other developed countries, healthcare in the USA is not free. Even with insurance, medical expenses can be extremely high. A simple doctor's visit can cost over $100, and more serious treatments can run into thousands of dollars. Health insurance itself is expensive, often costing between $200 to $600 per month for an individual. For families, this cost can be even higher. And the shocking truth is that even after paying for insurance, you may still have to pay a significant amount out of pocket for treatments and medications. Education is another area where costs have risen dramatically. If you are an international student or someone planning to study in the USA, tuition fees can be overwhelming. Universities charge anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 per year or even more for certain programs. On top of that, you have to pay for accommodation, books, and daily expenses. Many students end up taking large loans, which take years or even decades to repay. Now let's talk about taxes, something that many people overlook when calculating their potential earnings in the USA. The salary you see is not the amount you actually take home. Federal taxes, state taxes, and sometimes local taxes are deducted from your income. Depending on your income level and the state you live in, you might lose 20 to 30% of your salary to taxes. This means that if you are earning $5,000 per month, your actual take-home salary might be closer to $3,500 to $4,000. At this point, you might be wondering how people manage to survive, let alone save money. The truth is that many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. According to various reports, a large percentage of the population has little to no savings. Unexpected expenses like medical emergencies, car repairs, or job loss can push people into financial stress very quickly. Credit cards are widely used, but they often come with high interest rates, leading to a cycle of debt that is difficult to escape. Another shocking truth about the cost of living in the USA in 2026 is the difference between perception and reality. From the outside, life in America looks luxurious and comfortable. Social media is filled with images of big houses, expensive cars, and a glamorous lifestyle. But what people don't show is the financial struggle behind maintaining that lifestyle. Many individuals are heavily dependent on loans and credit to sustain their standard of living. For immigrants, the situation can be even more challenging. Adjusting to a new country, finding a stable job, and managing expenses can be overwhelming. Many immigrants start with low-paying jobs and have to work long hours just to cover their basic needs. While opportunities do exist, success often requires time, effort, and careful financial planning. However, it is not all negative. The USA still offers opportunities that are difficult to find elsewhere. High-paying jobs in fields like technology, healthcare, and finance can provide a comfortable lifestyle if managed wisely. The key is to understand the cost of living and plan accordingly. Choosing the right city, controlling expenses, and avoiding unnecessary debt can make a significant difference. In smaller towns and less populated states, the cost of living can be lower compared to big cities. Rent is more affordable, and daily expenses are relatively manageable. However, job opportunities in these areas may be limited, which creates a trade-off between affordability and career growth. Another important factor to consider is lifestyle. Your spending habits play a huge role in determining your financial situation. People who budget carefully, cook at home, and avoid unnecessary expenses are more likely to save money. On the other hand, those who frequently dine out, shop excessively, and rely on credit may find themselves struggling financially. Technology and remote work have also started to change the dynamics of living in the USA. In 2026, more people are working remotely, allowing them to live in cheaper areas while earning salaries from high-paying cities. This trend has provided some relief, but it has also increased demand in smaller towns, gradually pushing up prices there as well. Inflation continues to be a major concern. Over the past few years, the cost of goods and services has steadily increased, while wages have not kept pace for many workers. This gap between income and expenses is one of the biggest challenges facing people in the USA today. Let's take a moment to imagine a typical monthly budget for a single person living in a mid-sized American city in 2026. Rent might be around $1,800. Utilities could add another $300. Groceries might cost $400. Transportation could be around $600. Health insurance might be $300. Add phone bills, subscriptions, and miscellaneous expenses, and the total can easily reach $3,500 to $4,000 per month. This leaves very little room for savings, especially if your income is not significantly higher. For families, the situation is even more complex. Childcare costs are extremely high in the USA. Sending a child to daycare can cost anywhere from $800 to $2,000 per month. This is one of the reasons why many families struggle financially, even if both parents are working. So, what is the shocking truth about the cost of living in the USA in 2026? The truth is that earning money is not the biggest challenge. Managing expenses and maintaining a balance between income and spending is the real struggle. The idea that moving to America automatically guarantees a wealthy and comfortable life is a myth. Success in the USA requires careful planning, discipline, and a realistic understanding of the financial landscape.